Hey everyone, Reverend Dr. Katie here. Hey y'all, I hope you're doing really well. I have felt the really intense need for rest the past couple of days. And in that need for rest, that actually came up through a habit. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So, how many of you have habits? Of course, you do. You're human. We all have habits, right? We all have good habits, whether it's drinking a lot of water or working out, maybe it's praying every day, something like that. And we probably all have less than desirable habits, whether it's smoking or being on our phones too much or too much screen time, whatever your bad habit is. Everyone's got at least one or two. But the thing about habits is that they're, pardon the pun, they're habit forming. But when we're in a habit, we're in a pattern. And a pattern is really nothing less than a type of energy. And the types of energies that we fill our days with are very impactful on our lives, on our spiritual lives, and our emotional lives, and our physical lives. So at one level, this is really obvious. If I have a habit of working out and taking care of my body, I'm going to see that habit have a lot of good fruits in my life. And that's just kind of plain common sense. But what about our spiritual habits? So I've had two examples just come home to roost with me. So I want to tell you about those because they are good habits that I kind of petered away from, or at least one is a good habit that I kind of petered away from, and then I came back to the past couple of days. And then another one is a spiritual habit, a spiritual practice, a spiritual ritual that I do very consistently. And gosh, it has really, really served me the past couple of days. So I want to tell you about both of those. You can tell me what your habits are, and maybe this will be helpful for you on your journey. Okay, so the good habit I used to have that I had kind of gotten away from for very specific reasons that I'll tell you about is my diet. So I had come to the understanding a few years ago that doing low carb and a keto-ish or keto-friendly kind of diet worked really, really well for me. For one, it stopped a couple of physical symptoms that I had, and for two, it actually helped increase my intuition. So there's an unfortunate connection for a lot of people, maybe between sugar or carbs and intuition, just so you know. And so I was really faithful to this diet for a couple of years. Well, then I moved to Ireland. Y'all, I gotta tell you, the desserts here are really good. There's good pastries here. And I wanted them, and so I had them. And actually, I did a few other elimination diets to find out specifically what the foods were that were causing me issues. But over the past couple of weeks, I've noticed I was getting like more heartburn. Some of those old physical symptoms were creeping back in. But you know how it is. When they creep in, you don't always notice them. And then it just hit me like a bolt of lightning a few days ago. I thought, I have to go back to my keto way of doing things. Well, because it's a habit that I had already been very familiar with, it was a lifestyle for me for a long time. It was like so easy to get back into that habit. Just cleaning out the refrigerator a little bit, looking up a few old recipes, finding a few new ones I knew would excite and interest me, and boom, a couple of days in, it's actually really, really easy because I already had the habit formed. So it was really easy to come back to it. And I will say it was in my kind of spiritual practices where it was like, you need to do this for yourself. Okay. So I took a break for about a year and now I'm back and I can make other choices, about that part of my life. So even though it's a habit that's related directly to my physical life, right? That's my physical life. It actually is tied to my spiritual life too. Because when I am doing this, I'm giving myself a greater capacity for insights, a greater capacity for spirituality to develop within me. And it's not that this is not the only way you need to eat in order to have a rich and fulfilling spiritual life. It's just what really, really has worked for me. The second spiritual habit I have is lots of time in meditation, a lot of time in kind of different rituals that help facilitate my spiritual growth. And that includes the use of oracle cards sometimes. It includes meditation and prayer. It includes sacred readings. There's a lot of different forms that this can take, but I generally do this every single day, along with some kind of journaling or some kind of reflection practice. But the past couple of days, it's like, because I'm so regular with my metaphysical practices, the past couple of days, it's like the Holy Spirit has said, you need more time today. You need to double that amount of time. You just need to sit here and just be. It's also Lunasa, and that's the midpoint between the summer solstice and the fall equinox. So this is a time of recognizing harvest, recognizing fruits, of honoring the slight shift in seasons kind of in the northern hemisphere, preparing for fall a little bit, even though I know for a lot of you it is just hot as blazes outside still. But that energy is there. Because I am in tune and I have a habit providing the space for myself every single day, I was able to instantly recognize, like, okay, I need a little bit more. The messages that have been coming up for me, and I mean in every single way possible, through my body, through cards, through my sleep, through other kinds of messages, have been rest. Even more rest. So I've been a little quiet in here, honestly, for that reason. I've just been resting, I'm integrating. There's been a lot of spiritual shifts, a lot of spiritual up-leveling that's been happening for me. I know for a lot of you too. And that absolutely requires our bodies to have rest. And it's probably why it hit me like the bolt of lightning. Like, it's time to go back to that diet that you know works really, really well for your body and for your spiritual thriving. So all of these things kind of happened all at once for me. So what's the value of habits for you? The value of habits is that even if you get away from them, they're there. You can come right back to them. They become very familiar. And they help us form a container for experiencing our spiritual lives. And this is like one of the first things often that I work on with people when we get to work together, is that we all have to have sacred containers where we can place our experiences. So I have a sacred container in my own spiritual life, in my own habit life, of quietness, of meditation, of prayer time, of working with these different tools, working with my crystals, working with my cards, working with these different energies, working with Reiki. And the way I kind of combine all of those is a way that's really life-affirming, life-giving for me. And so when I have that as a really, really strong habit, I'm able to experience further insights. I'm able to experience more. I'm able to be more metaphysical. So for me, it was just a huge joy. And also, I'm kind of enjoying the rest. The rest of this week is really nice. The spirit cleared my calendar. I don't have a ton of appointments, just a few every day, but my calendar's like not packed this week. So it's a beautiful week to just experience all of that integration. It's also quite stormy where I live, so it's great for just curling up and experiencing this very, very beginning of fall. So I'm curious, what are your habits that you love? What are the habits that you want to cultivate? If habit doesn't quite work for you, maybe it's a ritual, maybe it's a practice, but something you can do on this regular basis. Let me know any questions you have. If you are ready to instill really, really good spiritual habits for yourself, do not hesitate to reach out. Just send me a private message, shoot me an email, and let's talk. Let's get that instituted for you so you can also have tons of insights. All right, everyone, great to see you, and just comment below, and I will talk to you all really soon. Bye.